as the raging storm of Aqua Laguna threatens to engulf Water 7. Nami desperately searches for Luffy, who lies trapped beneath the wreckage of collapsed buildings after his clash with Rob Lucci. She reaches him, her voice trembling with urgency as she reveals Robin's sacrifice, how she surrendered herself to CP9 to protect the crew, claiming she no longer wished to live. Luffy's eyes blaze with determination as he hears Nami's plea. With a mighty roar, he summons his strength and bursts free from the rubble, vowing to save Robin no matter what. Meanwhile, Chopper finds Zoro, wedged inside a chimney, and tosses him the cursed sword Sandai Kidetsu. Zoro slices his way out, ready to fight again. The island trembles as the colossal wave approaches, but Polly springs into action, using his ropes to pull the Straw Hats to safety just in time. Elsewhere, aboard the speeding sea train, Sanji battles through enemy forces, freeing Usopp and Frankie from captivity. The two immediately start arguing, forcing Sanji to intervene. Their bickering is cut short when Captain T-Bone, alerted to the disturbance, prepares to investigate. Back in Water 7, Kokoro reveals the existence of Rocketman, a decommissioned prototype C train deemed too dangerous due to its uncontrollable speed. Despite the risks, Luffy, Zoro, and Chopper eagerly board it, joined by the Frankie family, who beg to come along to rescue their leader. With the storm still raging, Rocketman hurtles forward, its wild acceleration matching the crew's burning resolve. The Straw Hats charge toward Enies Lobby, ready to face CP9 and reclaim their stolen Nakama. The wind howled violently, waves crashing against the tracks with deafening roars. The Rocketman, like a frenzied beast of steel, charged through the towering swells. At the front of the train, Luffy clung tightly to the railing, the strings of his straw hat whipping wildly in the gale. His gaze pierced through the curtain of rain, locked onto the distant sea train where their precious Nakama awaited rescue. The waves grew higher, forming a moving wall of water that threatened to swallow the entire train. The Frankie family and Galila Company workers scrambled to load every available cannon. Shells flew toward the monstrous wave one after another, only to be swallowed without a trace. Polly clenched his fists, sweat mixing with rainwater as it streamed down his forehead. Ordinary attacks were useless against nature's fury. Then Luffy suddenly turned, exchanging a glance with Zoro. No words were needed, understanding passed between them instantly. Luffy's arm began stretching impossibly, his rubbery flesh coiling like a spring, gathering tremendous energy. Zoro leapt into the air, three swords flashing as they left their sheaths, their edges gleaming coldly in the rain. Their movements synchronized perfectly just as Luffy's arm reached its limit. Zoro's blades whirled with spiraling air currents. Gomu Gomu no, Sanbi Akiraku Pound Ho, with twin battle cries. The combined force of rubber elasticity and sword slashes tore through the air. The Shockwave blazed a brilliant trail before smashing into Aqua Laguna. A thunderous explosion followed as the colossal wave was forcibly split apart, seawater parting to create a temporary passage. Seizing the fleeting opportunity, the Rocketman shot through the gap, the walls of water collapsing behind it in a spectacular spray. Inside the rocking train car, Chopper and Usopp clung to each other, watching the breathtaking scene through the windows. The little reindeer's eyes shimmered with Tear's pride in his crewmates, strength mingling with anxiety for the battles ahead. Meanwhile, in one of the sea train's compartments, Sanji kicked down the last guard and pulled out a baby, Den Mushi, keeping his voice low to avoid alerting his bound companions nearby. He reassured Nami on the other end while scanning their surroundings warily. His gaze fell on the trussed-up Frankie and Usopp, the latter suddenly thrashing violently. Just as Sanji was about to continue speaking, Usopp somehow produced a bizarre mask and, with surprising dexterity, slipped it on. The mask's exaggerated red patterns and long nose stood out starkly in the dim carriage. Sanji's eyebrow twitched. He couldn't comprehend why this long-nosed shipwright would choose such a life-or-death moment for role-playing. At the train's other end, Captain T-Bone strode purposefully toward the commotion, hand resting on his sword hilt. The famously upright Marine's expression was grave. He detected the unnatural disturbances aboard. Each measured step echoed his resolve, the faint scrape of scabbard against uniform hinting at impending confrontation. Breaking through the final wave, the Rocketman raced toward the horizon where the grim silhouette of Enies Lobby loomed. Luffy stood at the helm, rainwater streaming down his face. He pressed down on his straw hat, shadow obscuring his eyes, yet his unwavering determination radiated palpably. This storm-chasing battle was reaching its climax, and every straw hat stood ready to fight for their nakama. The sea continued its furious roar, as if heralding greater trials ahead. Through wind and rain, the Rocketmen charged onward toward Enies Lobby, carrying the most sincere oath young hearts could pledge.